What up, guys? Welcome to the compound today. So I had gotten a lot of questions about programming, but more specifically affiliate programming. Now, this is something that I have done a lot of since 2011, programming for a gym or a group of people, and there are a lot of complexities. So what I do today is I wanted to share a little bit of my knowledge and experience with giving you guys a rough example of some things that I consider, things that you can consider when you are the leader of a community and their physical and mental fitness. With that being said, clearly one aspect that you want to focus on is variance. So you want to make sure that while you understand you might have the perfect programming laid out in your mind, that athletes that come into your gym aren't going to follow perfectly. Meaning that you have the intention on a Monday and then different intention on a Tuesday and a Wednesday and Thursday and so on and so forth. But people aren't just going to come into your gym 3 days on, 1 day off. They're not just going to come into your gym 4 days on, 1 day off. Right? Somebody's going to come in on Monday and then life's going to happen to them and they're not going to come in until Friday again. These are concerns and considerations that you have to have as a programmer or as a leader or manager or overseer of a gym or community, because what you want to make sure is that that person that only comes in 2 days a week is getting a heck of a workout. And while we want to teach them and educate them and encourage them to be more compliant to get the results that hopefully they're seeking, it's important to understand that things aren't always going to play out perfectly. With that being said, variance, even in a linear progression with your strength training, is key. So, one of the common questions that I get is, Adrian, is it okay to do strength work and conditioning? Should you always do strength work and conditioning? Is it okay to do intervals and conditioning? My answer to that is yes and no. It depends on how you do it and how you execute it. So I apologize for that not being a straightforward answer, but a strong consideration that you have to take on is, what does your community want? What have you done in the past? And what can continue to drive their fitness and their interest and enthusiasm forward in the future? So what I do is I like to think about the general consideration of strength-based training, right? Squat, press, pull, clean and jerk, snatch, because I want my members to understand and learn those movements and capacities. Do we need to do them every single week? Absolutely not. But in some form or variation, we're going to hit those general planes of motion to develop the kinesthetic awareness, the coordination, the accuracy, the agility, the speed, all those beautiful things that are developed from training this way. And then, of course, we're going to add in the gut busting and the blistering conditioning on top of that as well. But as a baseline, I've provided 4 days, and I want to walk you guys through where my mind is with movement selection, and also maybe even class time use and consideration for the macro. So if you take a look up here, guys, we've got day one. Now the focus of day one is, it is a two-parter. So there's a part A and a part B. What you'll notice is part A is simply a back squat. Now, I didn't categorize this and get into specific detail of the nuances of, or this is going to be 5x5 or 4x10 or 3x8 or ascending reps or ascending weight. I didn't get into those details because that's neither here nor there. I want to load their spine. I want to squat them in full range of motion. I want to stand them up. Now, I would give you the leisure and the autonomy to make that choice of how you want the stimulus to feel. And of course, you got to be considerate of your community. Again, if you got a lot of people that need to improve their raw strength, maybe a good 4x5 or a 4x3 or a 5x5 is a great selection. Then my advice is, touch this movement once, twice at most a week, and do so in a linear progression, but vary it on the days of the week that it appears. This way, Jim that always misses on Mondays doesn't just get to miss back squat every single Monday and he feels left out, or he's just cherry picking, right? So sometimes back squat on Tuesdays, sometimes back squat on day 4 on Thursdays, or on day 5 on Fridays, right? Vary that. And it's important for you as a leader to have that foresight so that you can make sure all these members are getting sprinkles of back squats at least every couple weeks, instead of just having that linear progression where some people just don't make it into the gym certain days of the week. So we got the back squat to kick it off. Now, my idea of a successfully run class is that this takes about 15 to 20 minutes after a thorough warm-up. So that means I do want to kind of compound the work, put them on some kind of EMOM or every 2-minute clock so that they know they got to stay accountable, get the weights on, get the weights off the bar, and I'll give them also a conclusion on what to build to. Like, hey guys, today's the build to your heaviest 3. Or today is start heavy, stay heavy. We're trying to make pure, real strength gains. Part B, kind of a play on a Cindy-esque type workout. We're going to go 5 toes to bar, 10 sit-ups, and 15 air squats. Now, the skill level of this set of movements is very low. And the reason is because of part A and its existence. So that means I need to teach them the back squat. I need to show them the back squat. I need to prep them for the back squat before it actually starts. So when it comes time to this, I want to think about being able to touch these skills, movement expectations, scaling opportunities, and be able to hit the ground running relatively quick so that we stay on task with getting in and out of the gym in an hour. So we're gonna hit a 3-minute AMRAP of this to keep the intensity high. Of course, we're focused around the core and the lower body contractions that we already took place here. AMRAP 3, get after it, rest a minute, rinse and repeat for 4 consecutive rounds. You choose if you want them to pick up where they leave off, or if it's total amount of rounds and reps. That's your choice as a coach. Then we advance on to day 2. Now, what I want to see from day 2 to day 1 is a bit of variance on movement selection. So how the body's moving. We squatted on day 1. We flexed through the trunk on day 1. So now we're going to focus on hinging and getting some load over our head with the clean and jerk. So every minute on the minute is what this stands for 10 minutes. People enjoy this. It's a great way to stay accountable. They get a little bit out of breath. The heart rate gets up, but they get warm and they get the grease to groove here through these reps. I'd tell them to start light and ascend in weight based off of the fact that today I want these reps to be touch and go and that I don't want any failed repetitions. That means my cue to them is going to be to start light and stay sharp, stay snappy. This will allow them to conserve some energy and understand that I don't want a ton of physiological stress on their body through this portion. Now, I'm going to be there with as the coach on site. I'm going to be cueing them to correct, get their elbows up. Hey, jump a little harder, widen your feet a little more, press under that jerk, lock it out, stand it up before you cycle into that next rep. All those good cues that are going to be necessary, you're definitely dialed in and focused on here. Then we rest. We reset the room and we get set up for hang cleans and bar facing burpees. Again, hopefully what you guys notice is that there's some carryover in this movement pattern to part A, so that then the coaching and the carryover or the learning that the athlete has to do in order to be successful here is minimal. We don't have to spend another 15 to 20 minutes teaching this basic skill set. People know how to do a burpee. You talk about the variations and the variables it'll look like for a burpee, and then you talk about that hang clean. This will be a hang power clean today since we went below parallel so much yesterday. So the workout is 15 hang cleans, 15 bar facing burpees, 12 and 12, 9 and 9, and then guess what? We're climbing back up the ladder, 12 and 12, 15 and 15, all for time done. And they get to roll over in the sweat of their own, or a puddle of their own sweat. Now, the beautiful thing about this is, again, look at this for time aspect and look at this for reps aspect. Again, while it might not be so much of a change in regards to the physiology and the adaptation, mentally, it gives the athletes a bit of a break. This, they were trapped 3 minutes, 1 minute off. This, they're working for that freedom of their rest. And they know how many reps of each they got to get done. They just got to get it done. Do that for your athletes because it's a different kind of mental challenge. Now, day 3. There is no part A and part B. I just have A written up here. That's because this amount of work is going to take our sole focus, and we're going to really pivot and put our sole intensity and intention on day 3. This is extremely important. If every single day has pieces, inevitably what you will find is that you're going to have athletes lollygag, cherry pick, be very selective on where they spend their energy and their effort. Right? We all are humans are limited, and it's important to understand that if they walk in and see that one piece, they know, all right, Coach AC, Coach Conway, he wants me to give my all right here, and he's not asking nothing else of me. Also, what this provides as the leader of the class, it provides me an opportunity to develop and go over a true improvement in the double under, a true improvement in the power snatch, a true improvement, maybe even get a few members their very first bar muscle up today, and of course, which is even more important, talk about the details and the nuances involved in scaling a complex workout like this in order for them to have a successful training session and be getting great results from a physical and developmental standpoint. So the workout is a chipper style, 100 double unders, 30 power snatches. I forgot to write it, but this would be 75 pounds for the men, 55 for the ladies, barbell. 75 double unders, 15 bar muscle ups, down to 50 double unders, 30 power snatches. Now we're back to 75 double unders, 15 bar muscle ups, into 100 double unders, all 1 time through 4 time. Hey, if you guys are watching this video, give this workout a go. I'd love to know what your scores are, what you think about this movement combination. It is a doozy, to say the least, but a very fun combination at the least. So, to recap, single modality, single focus, but it's a chipper style workout. We got a couplet here. We're getting after it. This, we're limiting their work and going AMRAP style. Each and every day, what we've done is we've combined lower body and upper body where there's hanging, there's pressing, there's burpeeing, there's something taking place, right? But what I want you to remember is that it's our job to protect our athletes from themselves. So while I mentioned athletes that might be spotty in their attendance earlier in this video, what you really got to watch for is athletes that are there 7 days a week. 6 days out of the 7 a week, perhaps. Maybe they take off Sundays because maybe you're closed, or maybe they just don't come to the gym that day at least. but we have to consider the number of contractions that are taking place, both on the lower body and their upper body, what the plane of movement looks like, and review this. Is it always heavy? Is it always light? Is it in the hundreds, or is it in the tens of like 50s or 60s? Or is it in the thousands of something like a light bound, like a double under or a box jump or some type of burpee where we're jumping throughout the week? Monitor these contractions. Consider the least of your members and how they're scaling and what that looks like. Is the volume too much? And then, of course, consider the elite side of things, the top end, the top performers, and those that are there every day. Now, this is my consideration on day 4. So it's a Thursday. Everybody walks in the gym, and I know Zach, who loves to train, Chase, who loves to train, is coming to the gym. Even though I tell most of my members, hey guys, after Wednesday, a lot of you guys should just stay home and take Thursday off, come back and party Friday and Saturday, and then take Sunday off again so that we can keep our intensity high and get those great results. But because I know they're coming to the gym, they love this place, they love hanging out with your boy and all of our other friends here at the gym, we're going to break the day down a little differently. We're going to monitor the intensity and focus more on skill development and skill set, but I still want it to be productive. I want it to be as hard as they need it to be. And don't forget about Sally or Jim, who this might only be day 2 for them. I still need them to be able to go hard here. So this is the secret. No shoulders involved at all in regards to hanging or pressing, right? What I want is I don't want any contraction. I don't even want a ring row with the body weight being supported. I don't want to hang from the rig. I don't want a handstand walk. I don't want a handstand hold. I want those arms to truly rest. So in part A, we're going to focus a high percentage of our time on mobility and stability of the pistol. I wrote up here, pistol progression. This is a movement that a lot of people need practice at and develop a deeper understanding for how to get it. And it often gets a bad name in the sport of fitness because people move like trash, right? We get bad hip mobility, bad knee mobility, and they're like, well, Adrian, I shouldn't squat on one leg. Well, you're right, because you can hardly squat on 2 legs. So what we need to do is develop that. And we need to spend time mobilizing the proper joints, educate them on this. And then next, what I would do is introduce them to a series of holds. This could be a hold where they're on one leg holding onto a pull-up rig. This could be a hold where they're literally in a static step-up position with one leg on the box, and they're just fighting to support themselves on that leg that's on the box, facing it. The next step would be laterally, where that other leg just hanging down freely, but they're practicing stability, they're practicing developing strength. And then the next thing is, and this is for your top-tier athletes or the athletes that are actually executing pistols to a degree dynamically in a workout, we start to focus on speed and cycling. Now, this could be someone as advanced as myself or one of those everyday members of your gym that are wanting to compete or do it at a high level. They can focus on doing 20 as fast as possible. Let's time it. Bust out the stopwatch. Let's see who can win. That's fun. Or it's like, let's get that heel elevated, Jim. And I know you struggle with range of motion. Let's focus on trying to get as deep as we can. And I just want you to move steadily for the next 30 seconds. Let's see where that plays out. And let's try to alternate your legs and see how accurate you can step your heel still onto that plate. And then maybe this is what we can use for the next time we do pistols in a workout. The options are endless, but you guys see the value you can bring to your members. Then, because everybody likes to breathe hard, everybody likes to suffer, and as a coach and a leader, it's a combination of, yes, give them what they want, but also give them what they need, is that we're going to run 400 meters, row 30 calories for the men, row 20 calories for the ladies, then rest 2 minutes, and we're going to do that 4 rounds for time. So again, you still get people coming in who haven't trained in a couple days. You get people coming in who've trained every single day. This day is very productive. They're going to get all the fitness that they came for, all the fitness that they want, and they're going to even get some skill development. But more importantly, everybody got an upper body recovery day. Then Friday, guess what? You can dose them up with something fun. If you guys are a part of Brute Strength Training or you follow me anytime, if you're one of my one-on-one athletes, Friday's a day where we just throw down. Everybody commonly shares the same workout, even if they're on individual tracks. And it's like, okay, let's see what we got. Let's throw our hat in the ring and let's get after it and compete. And then Saturday you come in and maybe you dose them up with a fun partner workout, always keeping in mind that the only way that you guys can know where to go in the future is to look in the past. So log all this data, track all this data, whatever app you're using, hopefully it works well. If you're old school and you keep notes in a journal, keep those notes and visit them on a regular basis. But the goal is, guys, make sure that your training is productive, vary it on a regular basis. And yes, 2 to 3 pieces in a day is okay, but if it's every day, it's not okay. I hope this chat at the whiteboard brought you guys some value, and I hope it guides your programming, whether it's for affiliate, for a group of individuals, or for yourself. Keep rising.
Check. The grills in my mouth double as a freeze. The grills in my mouth double as a freeze. The grills in my